Welcome to the Star Tribune Game of the Week. Coverage is brought to you by the Minnesota Star Tribune and produced by NSPN.TV, the official streaming partner of the Minnesota State High School.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Wayzata High School as we get you set for some Class 4A Section 6 semifinal girls basketball as the number 1 seed Wayzata Trojans get set to take on the Robbinsdale Armstrong Falcons. Hogan Greenwood alongside Jack Sand, and Wayzata, the top seed for the first time in quite some time in girls basketball in Section 6 out of 4A. Wayzata coming in with a record of 22-4. They won the Lake Conference for the first time since the 1980s. They finished 10-1 in conference play with a win on the road, 61-59. They held on to beat St. Michael Albertville. And Wayzata finished as the number 3 team in the state in the rankings. They earned the first round bye and did not play earlier this week, so they have some time off and getting set to take on the Robbinsdale Armstrong Falcons, who come in the record of 12-15. They are coming off of a quarterfinal win, 56-45 against Minneapolis Washburn. 16 points for Marin Wilson, 11 points for Brianna Dumas, and 12 points for Ella Cooley got things done for the Falcons. They're out of the Northwest Suburban Conference. They finished 4-10. And they are coached by Antoine Easley in his 20th year. Player to keep an eye on for the Falcons is Marin Wilson. She averages 12.1 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game. The 6'1 senior is carrying Armstrong this season. Meanwhile, for Wayzata, they're out two of their top players. Kate Emelot missed the entire season due to an ACL injury that she had in the soccer season. They lost Sophie Hawkinson, who was having just an unbelievable season. Lost her in the Hopkins game a few weeks back. She had been averaging nearly 20 points per game on the year, over 20 points per game in conference play, so they are without Hawkinson and Amelot. But that means more players got to step up, and that means Annika Kieser, Marin Day, and others have been carrying the load. Kieser coming off of a 23-point performance. That's her new career high that she had in the win against St. Michael Albertville. Marin Day had a baker's dozen, 13. And Allie Burns added 10 as well. 3 players averaging in double figures for Wayzata. Marin Day, 10.6. Annika Kieser, 11.3. Katie Kelsenberg, 10.8. With Allie Burns shortly behind at 9.1. Head coach for the Trojans is Julie Stewart in her 4th year. And she's just done a marvelous job this year trying to get Wayzata back to the state tournament for the first time in 15 years. They have met Hopkins in the section final 6 straight years. They will look to pick up a win today and advance to the section final on March 6th. Hopkins and Edina playing in the other section semifinal today at noon as well. Hopkins the winner over St. Louis Park, Edina a winner over Minneapolis Southwest. So the winners will meet in the final on March 6th. Wayzata and Armstrong tipping off shortly here from Wayzata High School. It's our Star Tribune Game of the Week, as the top-seeded Trojans get set to take on the Falcons in Section 6 4A girls basketball. We'll step aside, and we'll have starters and introductions coming up shortly, following by opening tip. You're watching girls high school basketball here on the Neighborhood Sports Network.
My name is Marshall Bjorklund, and I'm a 5th-generation farmer from St. Peter, Minnesota. What you don't see typically is it's a lot of early mornings, late nights, and there's a lot at risk, but there can be some pretty rewarding times too. Obviously my 2-year-old's a little young yet, but my 4- and 5-year-old son and daughter, they enjoy coming up here, and I think it's my wife and I's hope that they want to continue with the farm. Time will tell what happens there.
Section 6 4A girls basketball game features our guests, the Falcons from Armstrong High School, and your Wayzata Trojans. At this time, we ask that you all please rise if you are able. Remove your caps and face the American flag at the south end of the gym as we honor America with the playing of our national Antoine Easley, and come into the game with an overall record of 13 wins, 15 losses. Wayzata is led by head coach Julie Stewart, and the Trojans come into the game with an overall record of 22 wins and 4 losses.
And so we're all set to go here from Wayzata High School. Robbinsdale Armstrong and Wayzata for a spot in the section final next Thursday. Starters have been announced for Wayzata. It's Marin Day, Lindsay Harvey, Allie Burns, Annika Kieser, and Katie Kelsenberg. For Robbinsdale Armstrong, it's Ella Cooley, Emily Fisher, Anna Smelzer, Maya Dillard, and Marin Wilson. Wayzata will be in the home blue, Robbinsdale Armstrong in the road white. Robbinsdale Armstrong has lost 5 straight section games to the Trojans, dating back to 2012-2013. Their last loss in the 2021 season, 69-41 in the section quarterfinals. Katie Kelsenberg will jump it up with Marin Peterson, and we're underway as the Falcons control the opening tip. Last time these two teams met was back in the 22-23 season. Wayzata winning in the Granite City Classic 62-29. Much different teams today. And the Falcons will look to pull the upset on the road. An early turnover as Marin Day takes the basketball away. Just a sophomore, the tandem of sophomores with Annika Kieser and Marin Day have flourished with their short careers with the Trojans. And here is a high post touch for Katie Kelsenberg. Dump it down low, and Allie Burns puts it in. And here comes that full court pressure. It's a staple for Wayzata. After a made basket, they'll look to force their team or their opponent into turning it over, and Katie Kelsenberg takes it away in the baseline. Lindsay Harvey up ahead for Kieser. Marin Day on a shot fake. Off the mark on a triple, and the rebound collected underneath by Kelsenberg. Off the mark. Tapped out to Burns, and she gets the friendly roll. 4 straight points to start for Allie Burns. Emily Fisher, one of the seniors, leading the way. Ella Cooley up top, just a sophomore. Smelzer, deep 3, off the heel, and the rebound taken by Lindsay Harvey. Wayzata looking to run. Marin Day finds the trailer, Kieser. A little too strong, and the rebound down to Ella Cooley, just a sophomore, 5'6", averaging 10 points per game and nearly 6 rebounds per game for the Falcons. Knocked away by Kelsenberg. She's get to the deck, and she's going to be... We got a foul on the floor. It's going to be on Kelsenberg. So she is called for the foul. That is her first. Falcons averaging just over 50 points per game this season. Meanwhile, Wayzata averaging upwards of 73. Getting a straight line drive there was Maya Dillard, but she missed it in tight. Wayzata quickly up ahead. Burns got her own and puts it back up and in. 6 straight points for Allie Burns, and Wayzata off to a great start here at home. And a timeout in the opening minutes by Robbinsdale Armstrong. Not what head coach Antoine Easley was looking for to start with his Falcons. Marin Peterson yet to get a shot so far in the opening 2.5 minutes. Wilson rather. Marin Wilson averaging just over 12 points per game. 6'1" senior also pulls down 9.5 rebounds. This pressure is something to deal with, not only in the full court, but the half court. Wayzata just so stifling. Falcons able to break it this time, get it to Marin Wilson. Her shot is blocked, but a foul. And Wilson will head to the line. So right out of the timeout, Falcons get it to their best player, and she will shoot 2 shots from the stripe. Foul goes on Lindsay Harvey. That'll be her first. She gets them both from the line. And we'll see our first substitution of the game. Armstrong bringing in Mac Person, the 5'6" senior guard, averaging just a shade under 4 points per game. Emily Fisher going to the bench early for Armstrong. Here is Marin Day out of the short corner. Burns in the lane, turning, blocked, but a foul. And Allie Burns will go to the free throw line. She's averaging just over 9 points per game this year as a senior. She had 10 points in the win on the road against the St. Michael Albertville Knights. And she's got all 7 for Wayzata to open up in our section semifinal. 2 for 2 for Allie Burns. She's got an early 8, and Wayzata leads 8-2. Harvey with the knockaway, bounce it for Day, and it's ripped away on the baseline by Ella Cooley, and knocked out of bounds right in front of the Falcon bench. 3 early turnovers for Armstrong. That's a key to the game for them. Got to take care of the basketball against this Wayzata pressure. And they turn it over. Annika Kieser up ahead for Lindsay Harvey. And Wayzata leads by 8. And a turnover off the inbound. Marin Day with the steal. This backcourt pressure has been a problem for Armstrong early on as Marin Day adds 2 more. This time they break it. Person up ahead, extra pass. Looking for Wilson underneath, knocked away by Wayzata. It'll stay with Armstrong. This Trojan team, even though they're down their top 2 players, they still believe they can get to the state tournament for the first time since 2010. This program is built with defense and depth. And that's the imprint that Julie Stewart has left on this program just in her short time, 4 years, as head coach. Off the inbound, they get a whistle and a foul. And the Falcons will shoot 2. Anna Smelzer will go to the line. First foul on Allie Burns. So with Hawkinson out, tore ACL against Hopkins. Still wants to be a leader with this team and still believes that Wayzata can win the state tournament. Ranked number 3 overall in the state, still being disrespected after they beat Eastview in the season opener all the way back in October, November. They have 1 more loss than Eastview, so that is potentially a reason why they are ranked behind, but they also played Maple Grove twice this year. Very close games, and Maple Grove, as you know, is the number 1 team in the state in Class 4A. Wayzata certainly not thinking about that, certainly taking care of business today and advancing to the section final, trying to get that revenge against Hopkins, who they beat twice in the regular season for the first time in quite a while. And a turnover. Mallory Macbeth into the game, and she steals it. Looking up ahead. Allie Burns had it knocked away by Mac Person, who got back in transition. So 6 first-half turnovers for the Falcons. Mallory Macbeth, younger sister of Wyatt Macbeth, who is a standout on the boys basketball team. Keyser got open off the inbound. 3 in and out, tap back. Keyser, Burns, and she turned it over. Looking for Kelsenberg. Stepping in front there was Brianna Dumas, who's into the game for the Falcons. Up ahead for Marin Wilson, and that's short out of the corner. Marin Day left all alone. Can't hit the 3. Rebound for Keyser, and she gets fouled, going right back up with it. So Annika Keyser, in her second year on varsity, has had a tremendous sophomore season, 11.3 points per game, coming off of a career-high 23 points in the win against St. Michael Albertville. We'll see Ellie Howard come into the basketball game for Wayzata. Howard, the 5'9" junior guard, averaging 4.5 points per game. Keyser gets 1 out of 2 from the line, 15-3. Wayzata in front. 4 minutes gone in the opening half. Trojans will pick up a foul in the backcourt. That's already 4 team fouls now for Wayzata. They'll go on Ellie Howard. That's her first. Dangerous pass, and it's stolen away by Annika Keyser. And here is Macbeth, averaging 5.5 points per game as a freshman. Kelsenberger looking for her down low. Knocked out of play by Dumas. Macbeth open out of the corner, and she splashes home a 3. Macbeth, a part of a big basketball family, and she's going to be a really good player in years to come. Gets on the scoreboard early on, and it's an 18-3 lead for the Trojans in the section semifinal. Backdoor look for Mac Person, and we get a tie-up. Possession arrow is in favor of Wayzata, and so chalk it up as another turnover. That's 8 already for the Falcons in this first half. We'll see Maya Dillard check back into the game, along with Anna Smelzer. Allie Burns back on the floor, giving Kelsenberg a blow underneath. Keyser was open. That shot was blocked by Cooley, but she was out of bounds at the baseline after she corralled the basketball, so Wayzata will keep it. 12:40 remaining, first half. Hogan Greenwood alongside Jack Sand. Glad to have you in here in our Star Tribune game of the week. Wayzata the top seed in Section 6 out of 4A. Macbeth open. Got another 3. 2 triples in the first half for Mallory Macbeth, and Wayzata has ballooned the lead to 18. They pick up a foul on the inbound, however. It's Ellie Howard being a little too aggressive, and so she's got 2 fouls. Quickly off the bench. 5 team fouls now for Wayzata. It's one downfall for the Trojans with all the pressure that they bring. They can oftentimes get into foul trouble, get the opponent into the bonus. Howard will go to the bench along with Keyser. Ella Goodnature into the game for the first time today, number 13 in blue. Cooley broke the pressure, tried to hand off for Dillard. She lost it out of bounds, and another empty possession for Armstrong. Kelsenberg, top of the key. Now it's Allie Burns with a great start. Trying to feed it down low for Kelsenberg. Couldn't handle the pass. And it's out of bounds. Wayzata's first turnover of the game. Hannah Smelzer breaks the pressure, bouncing it for Dillard, and she floats it in. And a much-needed bucket for the Falcons. Good Nature open. Southpaw can shoot it. A little too strong, and the rebound collected by Smelzer. Cooley on the drive, and she gets tripped up in a foul. It's going to go on Kelsenberg, so that'll be her second. She's confused on the call. She will take a seat. We'll see Tessa Frank come into the game. She has seen her role increased over the last couple of games after Hawkinson went down. In fact, Tessa Frank came into that game and handled point guard duties to lead Wayzata to a 6-point win over Hopkins in the season sweep over the Royals. In the lane, in and out for Smelzer, and the rebound for Macbeth. Fired a pass for Burns. And here is Tessa Frank into the corner. Macbeth, hot hand. She's got another three. Mallory Macbeth, 3 for 3 from deep. And she's got 9 first half points. 24-5, Trojans lead. 7 minutes gone in the first half. We'll step aside. Wayzata cruising here at home. 10:54 to go, first half. You're watching the Star Tribune Game of the Week here on the Neighborhood Sports Network.
We are the Minnesota Star Tribune. We're not a paper, we're a fabric. One that can unite, incense, connect, frustrate, represent, and reflect all of us. The Minnesota Star Tribune, the heart and voice of the North.
Are you betting on sports? If you are, know that sports betting is definitely considered gambling. And people who bet on sports, especially adolescents, are more likely to develop a gambling problem. So stay safe and remember that sports betting is illegal and unregulated in Minnesota. This means you're betting on offshore sites with weak data security and super unreliable payouts. Learn more at mnapg.org/youthgambling.
Back here from Wayzata High School, Hogan Greenwood alongside Jack Sand. Glad to have you in. Section 6, 4A semifinal. Wayzata out to a blazing start, 24-5. And we'd like to thank Star Tribune for their partnership with us here at NSPN, bringing you the Section 6, 4A semifinal. They had a good article this week with head coach Julie Stewart talking about Wayzata and their team this season. Julie Stewart, quote, "Our strength is in our depth and our willingness to compete has led Wayzata to this point." And that is why they have so much belief this season that they can get back to the state tournament for the first time in 15 years. Armstrong looking for some answers. Dillard out of the corner, missed it. Rebound down to Wayzata. Quickly into the front court for Ella Goodnature. Allie Burns looking backdoor. Keys are cutting baseline. That one falls off the rim. Mallory Macbeth tried to save it, but it went right to Dumas, and Allie Burns will pick up a foul. Not a good one at midcourt, as that'll put Armstrong at the free throw line. 7th team foul for Wayzata. Second foul now on Allie Burns, so that's 2 on Burns, 2 on Howard, and 2 on Kelsenberg. Lindsay Harvey back into the game. She has seen her role really flourish this season. 1-1 at the line as Emily Fisher knocks down the first. Lindsay Harvey earning minutes this season, not only doing it on the offensive end with her scoring prowess, but so active defensively. And the reason why Julie Stewart likes to play her, Harvey, one of the seniors on this team, celebrated a couple weeks ago for senior night. So 2 out of the free throw line for Emily Fisher, 24-7. Wayzata's lead is 17. Keyser off the mark on a 3, offensive rebound for Tessa Frank. Get it back outside for Mallory Macbeth. Shot clock hasn't really been a factor for Wayzata to start, but now it's under 10. Here is Frank on the baseline drive, finding a cutting Marin Day, who's blocked by Tumas. Marin Wilson hounded in the backcourt. She'll throw it off of Keyser. And the Falcons will have 5 seconds to get it across the timeline. Macbeth getting a round of applause as she goes to the bench. Kelsenberg back in, playing with 2 fouls. Going to have to be careful. 9.5 minutes to go, first half. Smelser from the free throw line. And it's last touched by Wilson. Here's Marin Day slashing in. Blocked out of play by Wilson. Marin Wilson just 2 points tonight. Has yet to knock down a field goal. Those 2 points came from the free throw line. Here is Kelsenberg posting up on Wilson, stepping through, and a foul. And that's going to be the second personal on Marin Wilson, which is not great for Armstrong, their best player. And Katie Kelsenberg at the line. She has really improved her free throw production this season. Second-year varsity player. Multi-time state champion with Scott Jackson and the Wayzata volleyball team. Gets 1 out of 2 from the line, 25-7. Trojans lead with under 9 minutes to play, and there is the active hands from Lindsay Harvey. Knocked away underneath, and a steal for Wayzata. Keyser racing ahead, and she draws the foul. 10 first half turnovers for Armstrong.
Armstrong's number 5, Emily Fisher. That is her first, team's 4th at the line for the Trojans.
Emily Fisher picking up the foul, and Annika Keyser will be at the line. Good Nature will come back in. Maya Dillard back in as well for Armstrong. Ella Cooley back on the floor as well. Annika Keyser gives Wayzata their largest lead of the first half. A 20-point advantage with 8.5 minutes to play. Skip pass for Cooley. She was blocked off on the baseline by Marin Day. Falcons trying to navigate this 2-3 zone. They go to Dillard, too strong off the glass, and the rebound pulled down by Marin Day. Here is Kelsenberg, a post touch. Got her own miss. Kick it outside for Harvey. Extra pass in the corner. Marin Day on the blow-by and the bucket. Pass deflected on the perimeter by Ella Goodnature. Kelsenberg will go to the bench. Allie Burns back on the floor. She had the first 8 points to start for Wayzata. Just 1 point since for her. Feed it down low for Dillard. Took some contact, and she's able to finish on the baseline. Tamia Dillard with her second bucket. She's got 4 points, but Wayzata quickly answering on the other end. It's Ella Goodnature underneath. Dillard high-low. Wilson bothered by Day, and she draws the foul. Marin Day picks up her first. Marin Wilson at the line for the Falcons. Wilson gets 2 out of 2 from the stripe. She's up to 4 points, all 4 of her points from the line. Contact down low and an offensive foul as Marin Wilson stepping in front of Annika Kieser to draw the charge. First foul on Annika Kieser. That's 19 fouls now for Wayzata. So next foul will be double bonus for Armstrong. 31-11, under 7 minutes to play, first half. Here's the pressure on the perimeter from Goodnature. Work it around for Ella Cooley. Back up top for Mac Person. She'll put it on the deck. Now it's Dillard. Had it for a moment, but then lost it out of bounds. First half turnovers for the Falcons. Here's Marin Day. Skip it. Extra pass. Harvey tees it up. Rebound taken by Allie Burns, and a second chance for the Trojans. Here is Marin Day knifing in and gets the contact. Could not lay it in, but she will head to the line. Marin Day playing some of her best basketball at this point of the season as well. Had a career-high 23 points in the win against Minnehaha Academy. Mallory Macbeth back on the floor, along with Kelsenberg. Smells it back on the floor as well. 1 out of 2 for Marin Day. 21-point advantage for the number 1 seed out of Section 6, Wayzata. Here is Wilson. Now to Cooley. Wilson gets it back, draws a double team. Falling away in the lane, too strong. Offensive rebound for Cooley. She goes right back up with it and gets the whistle. Ella Cooley at the line. First foul going on Mallory Macbeth. Cooley connecting on the second free throw, 32-12. 5:47 to go, first half. And we'll see Kaya Nash check in for the first time today for Wayzata, number 14 in blue. Marin Wilson, meanwhile, going to the bench. Back in for the Falcons, number 34, Brianna Dumas. Here is Macbeth, given space. Her first miss from beyond the arc today. Offensive rebound for Kaya Nash. Kelsenberg working on Dumas, too strong on the turnaround. Tap to the corner. Macbeth trying to save it, but stepped on the sideline. Good hustle there from the freshman. But it's going back to Armstrong. And they really haven't been comfortable in the half-court set today. Wayzata's 2-3 zone has caused all sorts of problems for the Falcons. And not a great foul for Kelsenberg on the head. She's going to pick up her third. Ella Cooley back to the line. Allie Burns back on the floor. Kelsenberg will presumably sit for the final 5 minutes of this first half. Ella Cooley gets 1 out of 2. Emily Fisher back on the floor for Armstrong. MacPherson will go to the bench. 32-13. Wayzata in control at home, looking to advance to the section final. They'll take on the winner of Hopkins and Edina, going on right now as well over at Hopkins High School. Macbeth on the drive. And she gets the contact. And Macbeth will go to the free throw line. Brianna Dumas will pick up her second personal. Mallory Macbeth into double figures now with 10 points. 3 for 4 from beyond the arc so far first half. And Macbeth, a sweet stroke, gets 2 out of 2, 34-13. Back to a 21-point advantage. Largest lead of the first half has been 22 for the Trojans. Here is Ella Cooley. And it's taken away. Marin Day running the floor. And gets it to go. Count it, and 1. Marin Day will have a chance at a three-point play.
Armstrong's number 11, Anna Smelzer. That is her first. At the line for the Trojans, Marin Day.
Marin Day cashes in from the line to make it 37-13. Trojans now with their largest lead of the half. The pressure again from Mallory Macbeth.
Returning for the Falcons, number 33, Marin Wilson. Replacing Brianna Dumas.
Get it into Smelzer over the top for Marin Wilson. The reverse layup is no good. And here comes Mallory Macbeth looking up. Marin Day surveys. Annika Gieser will come to get it. And Marin Day will set it up top. Under 4 minutes to go, first half. Allie Burns picked up her dribble. Now it's Macbeth. Day feeding Burns, and she banks it in. Allie Burns into double figures now with 10 points. Knock away and a steal Macbeth in a foot race, and she flips it in. A fantastic finish for the freshman. A baker's dozen, 13 points for Mallory Macbeth. Here's Emily Fisher trying to turn the corner, and Kaya Nash will pick up the nickel dimer. Free throws coming for Emily Fisher, 5'7" senior. Harvey back on the floor. Spelling Keyser. Emily Fisher splits a pair, 41-14. 3 minutes to play. Kai Nash can shoot it. A little too strong. Rebound for Macbeth. Marin Day open. Long two off the mark, and the rebound with a foul. Smelzer will pick up her second, and Kaya Nash will go to the free throw line. 5.5 points per game for Kaya Nash, just a sophomore. And she hits on the front end of a 1-and-1. Kai Nash knocks him down from the free throw line. .9 lead for Wayzata. Dillard looking to answer, and she kisses it off the window. Maya Dillard's had a strong first half, 6 points for her. Kai Nash pulls the trigger on a deep three. A little too strong, and the rebound pulled down by Ella Cooley. Cooley racing ahead, and she'll pull it back. Marin Wilson back on the floor. Here's Anna Smelzer, missing on a three. Rebound for Marin Day. Ellie Howard into the corner. Kai Nash shooting practice, and she sticks the triple. 5 points off the bench for Kai Nash. 30-point lead for the Trojans. Smelzer. Back-to-back triples, a little bit short. Another rebound collected by Marin Day. The C's part for Day, and she lays it in. No one stopping the basketball for the Falcons. Marin Day with a dozen first half points, the steal, and the lay-in. Wayzata puts up a half century in the first half, 50 points. Cooley on the drive, stepping through, and she gets the contact. Second foul on Kai Nash. Cooley back at the line. Marin Day will go to the bench for 14 first half points for Day. Brooklyn Gerber into the game for the first time as Cooley gets them both. Final minute to play, first half. Nash, step back. And she draws the foul on a three-point attempt. Brooklyn Gerber just into the game, fouls Kai Nash on a triple, and she will shoot 3 from the line. And Kai Nash gets all 3. She's got 8 quick points off the bench for Wayzata. 53-18. 40 seconds to play in the first. Another knock away for Macbeth and a steal. Howard bouncing it for Macbeth. Misses in tight. Rebound collected by Howard. And a second chance for the Trojans. About a 7-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Nash went right to the bucket. Missed it. And the Falcons can hold for the final shot. And a steal. Howard stepping through and scoring. Little Euro step from Ellie Howard and a steal by Keyser. And they got a foul on Annika Keyser, so we'll walk to the other end to shoot free throws. 2.8 seconds remaining, first half. Second foul on Keyser. Brooklyn Gerber at the line. Gerber gets the roll in the second. Still 2.8 to go. Wayzata can get a heave up. Kai Nash from half court. Just off to the right, and that'll end a fantastic first half for Wayzata. The top-seeded Trojans take the lead into the half. 55-19, Wayzata in control, looking to advance to another section final. 3 players in double figures for the Trojans, with Marinze leading the way, 14 points for the sophomore. We'll step aside. Halftime has arrived. Trojans in front over Robbinsdale Armstrong. You're watching the Game of the Week, brought to you by Star Tribune.
Up here, it's all about perspective. From the good life to the bad weather, the cities, the townships, the land, the water. It's the state we love to love. It's the state we hate to leave. Fly over? Do so at your own peril, because perspective matters. And if it's happening down there and over there or up there, read about it here and all across here. This isn't Minnesota nice. This is Minnesota news, and we are the Minnesota Star Tribune. We're not a paper, we're a fabric, one that can unite, incense, connect, frustrate, represent, and reflect all of us. It's the faces you may know. It's the voices you may not have heard. It's major, minor, it's urban, rural. It's left, right, and center field, because all the states a stage, and everyone plays their part. We are the Minnesota Star Tribune, the heart and voice of the North.
Are you betting on sports? If you are, know that sports betting is definitely considered gambling, and people who bet on sports, especially adolescents, are more likely to develop a gambling problem. So stay safe and remember that sports betting is illegal and unregulated in Minnesota. This means you're betting on offshore sites with weak data security and super unreliable payouts. Learn more at mnapg.org/youthgambling.
My name is Marshall Bjorklund, and I'm a 5th-generation farmer from St. Peter, Minnesota. What you don't see typically is it's a lot of early mornings, late nights, and there's a lot at risk, but there can be some pretty rewarding times too. Obviously my 2-year-old's a little young yet, but my 4- and 5-year-old son and daughter, they enjoy coming up here, and I think it's my wife and I's hope that they want to continue with the farm. Time will tell what happens there.
Upper Lakes have always been very supportive. I do have a pretty good relationship with the drivers and the management.
We care about their life and their family outside of work and what's important to them.
Truck driving has put me in a situation as far as being able to live a little bit more comfortably.
And by having that family business culture, it can overflow into our employees as well.
Tornadoes happen, hail happens. That's where Capital Construction comes in. Our specialty is storm restoration.
We pride ourselves on our customer service at Capital Construction.
Inspections are free. We're in and out same day, pain-free.
Halftime here from Wayzata High School. Hogan Greenwood alongside Jack Sand. 36-point lead for the Trojans, 55-19. 3 Trojans in double figures. Marin Day leading the way with 14 points. Mallory Macbeth with a baker's dozen, 13 off the bench. And Allie Burns started out hot. She had the first 8 points for Wayzata, cooled off, but into double figures with 10 points for the Trojans. Wayzata looking to advance to their 7th straight section final. And if they are able to hold on, they will host for the first time in quite a while. They've been going on the road to Hopkins High School the last 6 years. And they'll have a chance to host if they can knock off Robbinsdale Armstrong here in the second half. 6 points for the leading scorer, Maya Dillard, for the Falcons. Not a great first half for the leading scorer coming into the game, Marin Wilson. Just 4 points. Did not make a field goal. 4 points came from the free throw line for the Falcon leading scorer. Falcons turned it over 13 times in that first half, and they'll have to start out strong in the second half to cut the lead down to around 20 points to have a chance in the back half of the second half. We'll find out who will advance to the section final in about 4.5 minutes. Second half is coming your way next. You're watching the Star Tribune Game of the Week here on the Neighborhood Sports Network.
Up here, it's all about perspective. From the good life to the bad weather, the cities, the townships, the land, the water. It's the state we love to love. It's the state we hate to leave. Fly over? Do so at your own peril, because perspective matters. And if it's happening down there and over there or up there, read about it here and all across here. This isn't Minnesota nice. This is Minnesota news, and we are the Minnesota Star Tribune. We're not a paper, we're a fabric, one that can unite in sense, connect, frustrate, represent, and reflect all of us. It's the faces you may know. It's the voices you may not have heard. It's major, minor, it's urban, rural. It's left, right, and center field, because all the state's a stage, and everyone plays their part. We are the Minnesota Star Tribune, the heart and voice of the North.
Are you betting on sports? If you are, Know that sports betting is definitely considered gambling, and people who bet on sports, especially adolescents, are more likely to develop a gambling problem. So stay safe and remember that sports betting is illegal and unregulated in Minnesota. This means you're betting on offshore sites with weak data security and super unreliable payouts. Learn more at mnapg.org/youthgambling.
My name is Marshall Bjorklund, and I'm a fifth-generation farmer from St. Peter, Minnesota. What you don't see typically is it's a lot of early mornings, late nights, and there's a lot at risk, but there can be some pretty rewarding times too. Obviously my 2-year-old's a little young yet, but my 4- and 5-year-old son and daughter, they enjoy coming up here, and I think it's my wife and I's hope that they want to continue with the farm. Time will tell what happens there.
Upper Lakes have always been very supportive. I do have a pretty good relationship with the drivers and the management.
We care about their life and their family outside of work and what's important to them.
Truck driving has put me in a situation as far as being able to live a little bit more comfortably.
And by having that family business culture, it can overflow into our employees as well.
Tornadoes happen, hail happens. That's where Capital Construction comes in. Our specialty is storm restoration.
We pride ourselves on our customer service at Capital Construction.
Inspections are free.
We're in and out same day, pain-free.
Start of the second half here from Wayzata High School. Star Tribune Game of the Week, Section 6 for a semifinal. Robbinsdale Armstrong and Wayzata. Hogan Greenwood alongside Jack Sand. Trojans in front, 36-point lead to start the second half. Wayzata looking to advance to another section final. They'll await the winner of Hopkins and Edina. The 2-3 matchup on the other side of the bracket happening right now over at Hopkins High School. Do not have a score update for you, but hopefully we'll have one at the end of our game today. Wayzata in the home blue, Falcons in the road white. Falcons will start with the basketball here in the second half. Same starting five for both teams to start the second half. It'll be Maya Dillard, Anna Smelzer, Emily Fisher, Ella Cooley, and Marin Wilson for the Falcons. Marin Day, Lindsay Harvey, Allie Burns, Annika Gieser, Katie Kelsenberg for the Trojans. And here we go, second half is underway. And an early turnover for Maya Dillard. That is the 14th turnover of the game for Armstrong. And the Falcons will have a little bit of pressure of their own. Wayzata breaks, and then a block from Smelzer from behind on Burns. Loose ball collected by Fisher, and we get a tie-up. Arrow will keep it with Wayzata. Trojans out. Their two best players have been without Kate Emelot from the beginning of the season. Tore ACL in the soccer year. And Sophie Hawkinson, who had been averaging right around 20 points per game, over 20 points per game in conference play. Tore ACL, unfortunately, in the win against Hopkins on this floor a couple weeks ago. But she has taken a leadership role on the bench and still believes that Wayzata can make it to the state tournament and possibly make a deep run. Shot clock violation, a good defensive set there for the Falcons. Just the third turnover for Wayzata here today. And Armstrong will have the basketball back. Julie Stewart in her 4th year believes in this depth that Wayzata has, that they can make a deep run. 4 of their losses this year, 2 of them to Maple Grove, the top team in Class 4A. Their lone loss in conference play was to Eden Prairie, who they avenged that game. They won by double digits, which Hawkinson went for a career-high 41 points, made 8 triples. And the other loss came in the Granite City Classic, Game 2 against Prior Lake by 5 points. The Lakers are a team that's ranked inside the top 10 as well. Katie Kelsenberg underneath, laying it in off the window. And she's got 3 points here today. Emily Fisher off the bounce and banking it in. Emily Fisher with 5 points today. Wayzata breaks the pressure underneath. Annika Kieser with the left hand lays it in. Annika Kieser, a quiet day. She's got 5 points. Here is Cooley on the drive. Too strong. Rebound to Kieser. She's looking to push. 3-on-1. Kieser all the way, coast to coast. So back-to-back buckets for Kieser. She's up to 7. Wayzata quickly extending their lead to 40 points. Fisher blocked by Kieser. Fisher behind the play. Annika Kieser draws the whistle. And it'll go on Marin Wilson. And that'll be her 3rd personal.
Armstrong's number 33, Marin Wilson, that is her 3rd. Team's first of the half.
Head coach Antoine Easley in his 20th year with Armstrong will keep Wilson in the game. Brianna Dumas back in as Dillard will go to the bench. Short on the second free throw for Kieser. Offensive rebound for Kelsenberg. Had it blocked by Dumas. And then we get a tie-up with Cooley and Kelsenberg. Arrow is in favor of Armstrong. So the Falcons will get it back. Opening minutes, second half. Dumas stepping through. Too strong off the window. Rebound pulled down by Lindsay Harvey. Kelsenberg posting up is Burns, and Burns scores with the left hand. Quick instant offense for the Trojans, and Allie Burns up to a dozen. Smelzer. Skip pass for Fisher. Dumas. Into the corner for Cooley. Cooley drives. A lot of contact, no call. Here is Marin Day. 14 points in the first half for the standout sophomore. Kelsenberg surveys her options. Handoff for Day. Kelsenberg posting up. Working on Dumas, and that's too easy. Katie Kelsenberg up to 5 points now. Very quiet first half for her, but she picked up 3 personals in the first half. Fisher turns it over. Kelsenberg stepping through. Might have got away with an extra step there. It's blocked out of play by Wilson.
Returning for the Falcons, number 4, Matt Carson. She replaces Emily Fisher.
So Wayzata will keep it on the baseline. Mac Person, number 4 in white, back into the ball game. Marin Day will trigger in. Kieser bouncing it, knocked away by Wilson. Dangerous pass. Day got a hand on it. Finds its way to Dumas. Back up top for Mac Person. Smelzer to Wilson. And it's stolen away by Harvey. Harvey will peel it back. Kelsenberg finding Harvey. And good cut. Little give and go from Harvey and Kelsenberg. And we'll get a timeout from Antoine Easley. 13 minutes, 16 seconds remaining. Wayzata 68, Armstrong 21. We'll step aside. You're watching the Star Tribune Game of the Week here on NSPN. Back here at Wayzata High School, want to shout out the Trojan Pep Band bringing the energy today. They do a fantastic job night in and night out. Out of the timeout, Falcons basketball trailing by 47. Wayzata extending the lead. They're on a 13-2 run out of the halftime break. Knocked away by Keyser and a foul. Wayzata had roughly 12, 13 fouls in that first half. Not a great pass off the inbound. Keyser picks it up, and Wayzata's on the move. Into the corner for Marente. She will set it back up top. Kelsenberg surveys her options. Macbeth back into the game. Second miss from beyond the arc. Keeps it alive and scores it. Good hustle play from the freshman Macbeth. And she's up to 15 points. A foul away from the basketball. It's going to be on Kelsenberg, and that's going to be her fourth. So Kelsenberg will stay in the game for now. Ellie Howard checks back into the game for Day. Now Julie Stewart thinks twice about it, puts Allie Burns back into the game. Kelsenberg will sit. McPherson off the inbound, smells her out of the corner, short on a triple. Rebound collected by Macbeth. Tessa Frank back into the game as well, feeding Allie Burns. Kick out for Howard. Splashes in a three. Ellie Howard is capable from beyond the arc. Doesn't take a whole bunch of shots, but she's got 5 points today. And Wayzata's up to 73 points with 12 minutes remaining. Cooley baseline drive, blocked by Macbeth. Howard calling for it. Now feeding Keyser underneath. Keyser working through the contact and gets the whistle on Smelzer. Keyser at the stripe. Maya Dillard back into the game along with Emily Fisher. Keyser knocks down a pair. Wayzata outscoring Armstrong here in the opening 6.5 minutes. 20-2. And the lead has swelled to 54 points all of a sudden. Dumas into the corner for Dillard. Baseline. And the rebound to Macbeth. Tessa Frank pushing it up ahead. Good Nature back on the floor. Howard to Frank. Navigating her way through. Lost it. Howard picks it up. Howard had it poked by Cooley. Frantic sequence early on in this possession, and Wayzata will set things up top. Howard tees it up. Not this time. Offensive rebound for Good Nature, and we get a jump ball. Arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. Oh, I beg your pardon. There was a foul before the jump ball. It goes on Cooley. That's her first. Macbeth open off the inbound, and she's got another three. 18 points for Mallory Macbeth. Another turnover. Here is Good Nature leading the break. Reach and foul at midcourt by MacPherson.
Armstrong's number 4, MacPherson.
Number 32, Harper Keatser into the game for the first time today. Here is Ellie Howard. Got another three. Wayzata taking the top off with triples today. Ellie Howard, 8 points off the bench. Nice drive by Emily Fisher, and she gets the foul. Fisher goes 0 for 2 from the line, an empty trip for the Falcons, and Howard collects the rebound. Mallory Macbeth, already a new season high, career high, 18 points. She turns it over there. Just the 5th turnover of the day for Wayzata. Fisher had it poked from behind, and here come the Trojans in transition. Macbeth up ahead for Good Nature, who lays it in with the right hand, plus the foul. And Ella Good Nature will go to the line, a chance at a three-point play. Cooley picks up her second personal. Unable to complete the three-point play from the line. 83-21, just 2 second-half points thus far. Approaching the midway point of the second half. Armstrong just could not get things going on the offensive end. Credit to Wayzata, really turning up the defensive pressure, not only in the full court, but the half court as well. Here is Cooley slicing in, blocked by Keatser. That's Harper Keatser, number 32, into the game. Ellie Howard, short on a triple. Rebound pulled in by Cooley. And she turned it over in the backcourt. Wayzata gets it back. It's Keatser from the short corner. And she gets into the scoring column. Harper Keatser, her first bucket. The 6-foot sophomore. Keatser will pick up the foul there as Dillard got knocked to the deck. Mallory Macbeth and Ellie Howard will go to the bench. Now past the midway point, so running time the rest of the way, 8 minutes and counting. This game really never in doubt for Wayzata. led by as many as 36 in the first half. And the lead has ballooned to 64. Another steal. We got a tie up on the other end. Arrow will keep it with Wayzata. Number 15, Ava Doherty into the game, the 5'8" sophomore guard.
Returning for the Falcons, number 33, Marin Wilson.
Kai Nash back on the floor as well. Marin Wilson and Anna Smelzer back into the game for the Falcons. Tessa Frank open in the lane, kick it out for Nash. Nash had a notion for three, thought better of it. Now it's Nash getting a piece of the paint, left open, missed it. Rebound tapped out the backboard, and Smelzer looking to push. Dillard finding a person running the floor, and that's a great transition bucket for Armstrong. So breaking the action here, looks like Maya Dillard had some blood on that right arm. She's got to get taken care of, so she will get checked on by the Armstrong athletic trainer. Dumas back into the game. Wayzata kick it in the corner. Ella Goodnature knocks down a long two. Approaching the 6-minute mark. Running time here. Knocked out of play by the Trojans. Wayzata on their way to their seventh straight win over the Robbinsdale Armstrong Falcons. And it would be their 6th straight win over Armstrong in section play. Ella Goodnature picks up her second foul. Another steal for Wayzata. Here comes Kaya Nash into the front court. Up top for Ava Doherty. Now it's Goodnature into the hands of Nash. On a handoff for Tessa Frank. Frank will pull up in the lane. That one falls off the rim. Offensive rebound for Keatser. Could not convert, and here comes Anna Smelzer out of the pack. Smelzer, runner in the lane, is good. Anna Smelzer's got 3 points today. Hasn't been her day. Averaging just under 12 points per game, and the top performers for the Falcons did not meet up to expectations. Credit to Wayzata's defense. Goodnature, back cut, got blocked by the rim. Tessa Frank in the lane, and she's able to score it off the window. First points of the day for Tessa Frank. 4.5 minutes remaining, second half. Smelzer, baseline. Frank, head up, gets it back from Doherty. Kai Nash open, she'll let it fly, and knocked down a three. Kai Nash into double figures now with 11 points off the bench. Wilson was blocked, and it's out of play off of Mac Person. Brooklyn Gerber back into the game along with Maya Dillard.
Also returning for Armstrong, number 20, Mia Dillard. She replaces Brianna Dumas.
Kai Nash, turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness. Sweet bucket from the sophomore Kai Nash. And she's got 13 points. Brooklyn Gerber back into the game. Got caught underneath the backboard, out of bounds to Wayzata. We go under 3 minutes. Wayzata will advance to another section final. And they have the state tournament on their mind. Even without Sophie Hawkinson, Wayzata continues to impress. Their depth is something they like to lean on along with their defense. And both those two things shining bright today. 2.5 minutes to go. Wayzata leading at 94-25. They'll take a timeout. Just a substitution timeout there. Tie up on the floor. Armstrong will have the basketball. Adriana Petro into the game for the Falcons. Here is Marn Wilson, baseline. Can't get it to go. Rebound taken by Hannah Brenke, who's into the game for Wayzata. Also into the game, number 30, Allie Dwyer. And number 42, Juliet Brill. Here is Brenke on the baseline, bouncing it for Doherty, who sneaks inside for two. Final minute and a half. Knocked away, picked up by Dillard. Brenke knocks it away. Lost her balance, out of bounds. And it's last touch by Armstrong. We go under a minute to play. I want to shout out the Robbinsdale Armstrong seniors who will play their last game today. Mac Person, Emily Fisher, Maya Dillard, and Marin Wilson. Had fantastic careers with Armstrong. Their basketball career will come to an end, at least at the high school level. And this is a very young team for Robbinsdale Armstrong, so they'll have a lot to build on going forward. Antoine Easley in his 20th year has been a mainstay with Armstrong, but they'll come up short again in the section tournament. Number 30, Celia Townsend into the game, along with number 42, Raven Delaney. And Tessa Cooper in as well. 17 seconds to go. Wayzata's defense holding Armstrong to just 6 second-half points. Wayzata putting up 41 points in the second half themselves. They get another steal for good measure, and Kai Nash will run out the final seconds. Wayzata, the top-seeded Trojans, advance to the section final in Section 6 for the 7th straight year, and they will take on the winner of Hopkins and Edina. Final score, 96-25. Trojans getting it done on the defensive end, and their depth really shining through today. Trojans improved to 23-4 on the year. The number 1 team in Section 6 will host the section final for the first time in quite a while. It'll be Hopkins or Edina on March 6th. Meanwhile, for Robbinsdale Armstrong, they dropped to 12-16. Their season comes to an end today. Once again, a special shout out to the seniors, Mac Person, Emily Fisher, Tamaya Dillard, and Marin Wilson. Mallory Macbeth leading the way with 18 points off the bench. That's a new career high for her, as Wayzata wins it 96-25. That'll wrap things up here from Wayzata High School. Thank you for watching the Star Tribune Game of the Week. Don't miss our coverage of the section final on March 6th, plus boys section quarterfinals next week. Stay tuned for the Minnesota Star Tribune Game of the Week here on the Neighborhood Sports Network. So for our entire crew, I'm Hogan Greenwood. Jack Sand. Wayzata wins it 96-25. Trojans advance to the section final and will take on Hopkins or Edina. So long from Wayzata High School. Trojans moving on here today.